Greetings. My name is Tim and this is How Do I Do This 01 at yahoo.com. You can go ahead and start this lesson today by opening up a paint window, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with a blank canvas, and then what I want you to do is just color it in. So what you can do is pick any old color. I've chosen blue today. You can choose any color you like. Use your paint can, then just select, set your dimensions on your attributes here. You want to go 800 by 600. This is just a round number. This is just a number that you can work with. That'll fit on your screen, and it's a good starting number for you. Anyway, you can go ahead and set your attributes and go ahead and paint your background. And what we're going to be covering today is layering and the different processes of how to layer. Basically what you want to do is you want to create a form or an outline or a template, if you will, on how we're going to actually accomplish this. Now let me open up this new window and I'll give you a brief description of what it is. Okay. What you do is you create different shapes. Now it can be squares, it can be circles, it can be whatever shapes you like. Whatever tickles your fancy, you can create the shape using your tools up here. You've got your polygons, you've got your squares, your rounded squares, and your circles and ellipses. You can choose whatever line width you want. The objective here on this first step is simply to make a template. Now once you make this template, you create your circles here. Now you notice I have the lines coming down here, the red lines, the yellow lines, and the brown lines. Okay, just to give you a quick description. If you'll follow along here, follow the arrow here, my paint can and or the cursor, if you will. Now down here on the status bar, you'll see that when you move your cursor, the numbers change. Now this is going to come in handy if you're going to start working on any kind of video or animation work, but it's also good for precision work when you're trying to do layering. The objective here is to place an object on top of another object in layers till you get the effect that you want. Now what we're going to do today is go ahead and create circles. Now in order to create a circle, you don't just look at the top measurement and the side measurement. What you have to do is to start a circle and or a square is you have to start here at this outside corner. You can start down here at this corner, but then you have to subtract all your numbers to get up to this corner. So it's better to start up in your top left corner because this is where your grounding is. This is where Microsoft Paint program sees your ground or starts from the number 0. If you watch your numbers here down here at your status bar at the bottom, and the mouse cursor is all the way at the top, you can see you start at 0 and you progressively go down until you get to 87. Now that's the second number. Your first number is going to be counting from left to right. That will also start at 0 on the left, and then it'll go up to the number corresponding to the edge of whatever it is you want to place. Now in this case, I'm using circles, and this is just a template for circles, just to give you a reference point to place the objects in the layer. Now once you've created these objects here inside of this first layer, you can go through and you can simply, using the blue tool here, you can go through and simply paint out these other items. These are just items for identification and for reference. They don't have to be here. They're not important. What is important is the objects themselves and where you place them. Now, going on this premise, just getting this cleaned up a little bit here, you have your objects laid out for you, and then what you're going to do is you're going to copy this. So you would use your selection tool, click on transparent. Now you can right click on this, and then you can left click on select all. You can edit this and select all. Either way will work. It's a good idea to get used to using your right mouse button because there's a lot of tools and functions available when you use your right mouse button, and the only way you're going to learn to use it is to practice. So if you select all here and then you right click a second time, now you have changed the options. You can invert selection, you can cut copy, and do quite a few other things. In this case, all we want to do is just copy it. Then you're going to open up a new window. Okay, open up a new window here, and inside of this window you're going to paste the item. Now in this particular case, you can see here we've copied and pasted exactly the same item. Now what we're trying to do here is to layer. Now we still have this first one here that I've showed you from earlier. Oops, excuse me. Showed you from earlier. Now we're going to go down here to this one, which is where we layer them. Now the objective here is to have a template for you to work from. Now that we have this already set here, you can go ahead and click select again, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go down and you're going to open up pictures. Now it doesn't matter what picture you want, you just open up pictures in Paint, and the reason I'm suggesting Paint is because it's a program you're trying to use to get to know today, so practice using this program. Open a new file. You can do a search by just going up here, clicking on open. Do a search through your photographs. Find whatever photograph you like. It doesn't really matter what the photo is. The objective here is to simply choose some photos and use them as overlays. Then you go back here and you can select and then you copy. Now once you select, you right click, you copy. Then we can go back up here and you can see what exactly is going on here. Now in this case, oops, apologize for that. Let's go back here, copy, minimize. Now, you go back here and you paste. All of a sudden you've got this wonderful outline here. Now this outline, you can either do it as it fits and put it in the area that you want, okay, depending on how you want this to look. You can put the object inside something, or you can, let's go here, and just for demonstration purposes, let's shrink it down here by half. Now you notice up here at the top there's a line, and here on the left side there's a line. Those are both reference marks. Those are good for chopping it up by 75% or 50% or what have you. This is just good for a reference. Now you take this, you can put this inside the circle where you want your kitty cat to be, and then you click. Now that it's set on this background, once you paste the other layer on top of it, you're going to wind up with some pretty interesting results. Now let's go back over here to the first picture that we started with, the template if you will. Now this one here, you'll notice that I have colored in all these circles in white, and that's exactly what you want to do with your template. Is you want to circle those in white, and then you want to select all and then copy again. Now if you copy again, you've taken all these circles that are now painted white, and you'll notice here that you want to have this selected on your item that you're pasting into.